granted, Boots wanted to become undisputed at 147, right?
Mm.
But when Devin tried to fight him at 147, he said, no, I'm moving up to 154.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, so
he's a dangerous fight for anybody.
He's a dangerous fight for anybody.
In the ring on the night. I know it's not his fault.
Yeah, I know that's not ideal how he wanted to win it. You know, I know he's disappointed that he couldn't win it from a champion and whatnot. And it's disappointing for him, but if I was him, I'd just tell him, like, I want to fight for it. Like, I'd rather fight the number 3 guy. You know, if I couldn't get the other guy, you know, don't send me a belt in the mail. But it just seemed like, you know, everybody cool with being female champions now.
The fight between Terence Crawford and Jaron Boots. Ennis gets worse as Crawford attacks the rising star, calling him overrated and saying he avoids real competition.
Yeah, man. Devin get a lot of hate. For no reason. I don't know. I don't understand why so many people hate Devin and Shakur. Like, they get the most hate out of all boxers. If you look at the comments when they talking about Devin, when they talk about Shakur, they get the most hate out of everybody. And they willing to fight everybody. Devin fighting everybody.
Everyone.
Devin like, give me Lomachenko, give me him. Oh, I wanna fight him. You say he the best, I wanna fight him.
Yes.
You know, Boots, I wanna fight Boots.
Right away, Jaron Boots, Ennis responds, saying that those accusations are completely false and that anyone can talk to him about it. Some people who disagree with him say that his claims don't really tell the whole story of the discussion.
It don't make no sense, but I want to go do that. Anybody in their right mind, I'm going for the unification. I'm not about to go to 154 and fight for an interim. I ain't duck nobody, and everybody knew that.
Right.
Anybody can get it any day. Like, so yeah, like, people be crazy. People know I don't talk.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I'm talking now, but like, I really don't care, like, the talk and all that on the internet and all that. I know I got people be trying, like, you got to sell the fight, you got to do this, you got to making it, bro. Something might be wrong with me because I can't really.
Devin Haney told a different version of the same negotiation. He said that he was ready to fight Jaron Boots, Ennis, and that the only deal that would work was at 147 pounds. He said that he wouldn't move up before ever competing in that division.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, Boots is a good fighter, but who is he?
Would you have fought Boots if that presented
itself? No, they asked us. They said, are you guys open to doing a Boots fight? I said 100%. At 147, Boots' team came back with, they want to do it at 152. I want to do 152. I never even fought at 147 yet. I said, no, if you come down to 147, we can do the fight. I'm not gonna go to 152 for fucking Boots. Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, Boots is a good fighter, but who is he?
Focusing on a specific conversation that didn't go well, Boots is linked to a possible fight with Devin Haney. He says he agreed to the suggested catch weight before all contact stopped suddenly. This started months of public debate about who really wants the match.
I want to do 152. I never even fought at 147 yet. I said, no, if you come down to 147, we can do the fight.
After I had decided to move up, you know, after everything was going on, I decided to move up and, you know, move to 54. We get a call back a couple days later. He like, me and my team, they like, yo, would you fight Devin at 152? I said, yeah. I'm like, I ain't fighting 54 yet. I can make 52. Like, I'm like, yeah, why not? I'm like, yeah, we never heard nothing back after that. And that's another thing. People be painting these false narratives and saying that I ducked this person. How I ducked him? Right. I said, yeah. But y'all don't know that because y'all don't know what's going on behind closed.
Boots stays strong in the face of growing criticism, saying that Terence Crawford's thoughts don't matter because he still thinks he is the best boxer in his division. He thinks that the only way to prove it is to fight him in the ring.
Cheeks to you or like, I don't know, maybe like hate a little bit. I know online he recently said that Fedor is the best guy at 154. He said Fedor would beat you. What do you like your thoughts on that?
I don't pay that no mind though. None of that stuff be bothering me, but like I said, I'm the best at 154. Everybody know it, and I'm gonna keep standing each every time out, you know?
Boots brushes off Crawford's criticism, but his name starts to come up in a lot of boxing reports. He says that other fighters gain from making up lies because they don't expect any response. And finally, the silence ends, letting everyone look over any claims made in the future.
That, and I think people be using, like I think people be using my name because they know what they think I'm not gonna say that. But now I feel like they gonna watch themselves. So.
Yeah, now you gonna start saying what you feel.
Bro,
anybody you want to air out?
I see them. I see them.
See, you still quiet.
Yeah, I'm quiet because I don't really be trying to talk to her. That really ain't me, but like,
Greg Hackett agreed with Boots' point of view and said that he has just been chasing titles in the same way that top champions have always done. That argument breaks down the whole story of dodging. And, according to Hackett, top boxers have always gone after the biggest prize possible. Boots isn't the only one who does this.
Yo, so if every time Dev go up and weight, he be chasing the belts, right? He be chasing the belts. Yep. So Dev coming up and Boots got the belts, but Boots trying to do the same thing. He trying to get the belts. What do Boots win for fighting Dev? Besides a win.
The name.
At that time. Yeah, but the name is a smaller guy coming up. Y'all already saying I'm beating up smaller guys.
Hackett builds on that same argument by saying that going after bigger names, titles, and money is always the smarter thing to do. His reasoning shows why the criticism doesn't take into account how boxing careers are built, since boxers who choose history over convenience rarely get credit for the calculated risks that drive their choices.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go where the big guys at, and I'm gonna win there. So then I fight Xander, and I fight for 2 belts instead of 1. What's wrong with that? Dev did the same shit, didn't he? At 140. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna go where the opportunity, the money, the legacy, all of that shit matters at once. You know what I'm saying? They doing the same thing Bill and them be doing. Same thing. We gonna go where the smoke is at, but the smoke come with a trinket, it come with a check, it come with some notoriety, it comes with, you know what I'm saying? It gives me something to be proud about. You feel me?
Virgil Ortiz says he has already called Jaron Ennis, Sebastian Fundora, and every other winner he could find. His words support the idea that the toughest problems were not in the ring, but at the negotiating table. Additionally, Ortiz says that fans often fail to notice that delays are mostly caused by contract and purse splits, not one boxer trying to avoid another.
Man, I just want the best fights, no matter who it is. Jaron Ennis, Fundora, anyone with the belt. You know, there's really not anyone in the top 10 that I haven't fought or that I haven't tried to fight. You know, at this point, you know, people just need to take the fights, you know, and a lot of people want to say, how come you haven't tried this route? You know, just because I'm not calling people out on social media like everyone else does doesn't mean I'm telling my manager, hey, let's make this fight. That doesn't mean I'm not talking to the WBC like, hey, how come we haven't made this fight happen yet? You know what I mean? Like we've done our part, you know. I'm not a very vocal guy. Well, I'm starting to be because I feel like I have to be. And I don't know. It's a bit of a change of character. I'm just starting to care less and less.
Virgil says that supporters twisted every result, no matter what really happened, to show how unhappy he is. That irritation shows how hard it had become to tell the difference between perception and reality. Ortiz also says that people who don't want to fight will find a way to see it as dodging, even if a fighter publicly calls for a fight.
One, the fight doesn't happen with Jaron Ennis. Oh, I'm ducking the fight. You know, Virgil Ortiz doesn't want to fight Jaron Ennis. Now we're calling him out. Oh, he's begging for the fight. You like what kind of logic is that? You know, I just respectfully, that is just stuff that I deal with and other boxers deal with on a day-to-day basis. That doesn't make any kind of sense. I just don't understand how the gears are working up there. You know, like they're turning the wrong way. I don't get it. But anyways, I could keep on talking about this.
When asked about his confidence in the fight, Virgil is adamant that nothing has changed his mind about having the style to beat him. He is sure of himself because he thinks other people have missed things. He also says that the tools he brings to the fight are not the usual ones that outside analysts see.
I do. I definitely do. But I mean, I got him.
Based on what you saw in that fight, and what you've seen prior, of course, too, but like what you saw in that fight, that showed you something?
It proved something. It didn't really show me something. It just, I always knew it, but, you know, just seeing it, you know, I got him.
Robert Garcia thinks that skipping the bigger fight showed more than any public explanation could. This is more than just a title defense for Boots. The question is whether he really wanted the hardest task in his division. He says that fighters don't usually make their true intentions clear, which is why decisions like this one about who to fight often say more than any press conference could.
Dad, Virgil himself, we want to fight Boots. We want that fight to happen. Hearing from Eddie that Boots might want to unify against
Josh Kelly.
Yeah. Well, if you do that, that's taking advantage of a fighter that's injured, that's hurt. You see that cut?
Yeah.
That cut is like an inch deep.
Yeah.
That cut is big. If you bring somebody like that to a November fight, you're taking advantage of that. You're taking advantage of that. And the fighter will probably do it because he's a fighter, he's a warrior, and he'll probably get the biggest payday in his career, and he could lose to anybody else because, let's be real, Kelly might not be the best in the division. So they're going after him to take advantage of that opportunity to get another belt under his belt, which would be 3, which is great. But when you have somebody like Virgil who's asking for it, so November's a perfect date. He had a great
to come
fight
back against Boots or to get a tune-up and then Boots?
No, we don't need a tune-up. Right. We want to go straight into Boots.
As rumors grow about why Boots Ennis put other fights ahead of Ortiz, Garcia is convinced that the champion knows how tough Ortiz will be. He says that accepting different opponents instead of Virgil talks louder than any explanation. He says that avoiding a certain style of fighting instead of avoiding all fighting often shows the real story behind a fighter's choice of opponents.
I know, I don't think, man. I know, it's man.
You got history against Bozy in the corner. You did well in January.
That's why Bozy will even say, no, that's not our next fight. We're going to go unify because they think that's more important. No, it's not. They know Virgil will beat him. Or else they would take it.
Crawford thinks that Virgil Ortiz would be a tougher opponent than Sebastian Fundora because he is always pressing and has strong fundamentals. He thinks Boots' biggest problems will be with his style, not his size, and that pressure fighters who are disciplined in their aggression have historically given elite boxers more trouble than raw physical mismatches.
But for me, I say Virgil.
Really?
I say Virgil.
Wow, even though Fundora is 6'6" and has a long
distance.
Because
Fundora leave the door open to get caught.
Right.
You know, but Fundora, you know, he's getting better.
Yeah.
He's definitely getting better. But Virgil, you know, he gonna be in your face. He gonna have his hands up. He gonna be jabbing you, you know, with a stiff jab and going to your body. And with Fundora, he wanna get in inside.
Yeah.
He tall, but he don't want to. He don't
like
want to
bang too.
He don't want to fight you on the outside.
Right.
He
gonna be in there.
He gonna ping, 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 and then when you get in inside, it's boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? So,
Paulie Malignaggi says that Sebastian Fundora is one of Jaron Boots Ennis's most dangerous opponents in the division because of his height, awkward southpaw style, constant pressure, and punching power. The matchup is so close that even experienced analysts have trouble telling them apart, because each fighter has their own strengths that can change the fight.
Fundora, of course, is a very difficult guy to deal with. Listen, Fundora is going to be difficult to deal with for anybody. And so Ennis and Fundora, I really would get excited for Ennis and Fundora. That's a really good fight. And for me, that's not an easy fight for either of them. That's a tough fight to call, man. I don't know. I would love to know what some of the comments think at home. And don't be biased about just because one guy you like one guy over the other. I'm talking about seriously, from a boxing perspective. Ennis and Fundora. Listen, Fundora is an awkward fight for anybody because of the height and the power that he's got at that weight. But really, to break it down, it would be interesting, and it's a really weird, strange fight to try to figure.
Another interesting argument starts about that possible fight. Bermain Stivern says that a match between Jaron Boots Ennis and Sebastian Fundora would quickly become very exciting because both champions are ready to trade and enforce their own styles. He thinks that neither of them backs down from danger, which makes an explosive fight seem like it was bound to happen from the start.
If Boots is getting a little lazy, getting a little carefree, and playing around a little bit. I think that Boots and Fundora is an absolute Hagler-Hearns type of shootout. I think Boots is mean as a rattlesnake. He's gonna have to step to Fundora. I don't know if his jab, especially to the head, will be that effective against a guy that's 6'6". So you have to jab him to his body a lot and kind of step to him. And I think he's with that. That's the kind of fighter he is. I think that that will be an early round shootout. I think that will be the kind of fight that will end.
When Eddie Hearn thinks about Boots' next fight, he sees one of the best fighters in the sport, Jaron Boots, Ennis combines great boxing skills with attacking instincts that are rarely seen together. He thinks that Boots' special balance and his ability to change his style during a fight will help him beat Sebastian Fundora's awkward style, which many top opponents find hard to handle.
Boots is capable of doing, like, Boots is the first fighter with this kind of IQ that can also fight. Right, and that's what I think you guys...
Can you elaborate on that?
Right? So what I mean by that is, there are so many fighters with the IQ of Boots or similar IQ that styles do not entertain or overly entertaining. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when you talk about IQ in the sport, tell me the top 5 guys who've got that kind of IQ. Shakur, Devin Haney, Tank maybe, but Tank's exciting, but whoever he fights against another story, right? So those kind of guys.
But I mean,
but what do you get what I'm saying? I do. But Boots will sit in the pocket, he will fight you, he will attack you, he can box off the back foot, but he actually likes to come and fight.
Eddie Hearn thinks Sebastian Fundora is in a completely different situation than anyone else in the division because of his huge height, long reach, and awkward southpaw style. According to him, Fundora can only be broken down over and over by a fighter with a high ring IQ, patience, and the ability to make frequent adjustments. He thinks that is Jaron Boots Ennis.
154-pounder, but you've got to be good enough to adapt to everything. Like, and that's the problem. A lot of these guys, no disrespect to Keith Thurman, he's been done for a while. Yeah. But Tim Tszyu, these kind of guys, they're all great fighters, but they just can't adapt to styles. Josh has got an unbelievable IQ. Boots has probably got the best IQ in the game, I think. They can adapt in those kind of fights, and that's what you need to do, because Fundora is a massive problem. Yeah. Because how do you prepare?
Sebastian Fundora deserves praise from Eddie Hearn for taking on one of the hardest fights available instead of avoiding it. But he also thinks that Jaron Boots Ennis has the better skills, ring smarts, and overall ability to finally beat Fundora and get the win.
A little bit baffled, and that's why I respect him so much, because we as fight fans should respect him so much. Puerto Rico should respect him so much, because we all moan, don't we? Oh, you know, and everyone's like, how are you going to get Boots a big fight? How are you going to get Boots a big fight? And I'm sitting there after the Ortiz stuff going, who? And this kid steps up, and that's why I respect him so much. And he's a serious threat, but he ain't gonna be good enough.
From the point of view of a fighter, Jorge Linares thinks the champion has the strength, speed, and boxing skills to really hurt him. He also says that not many fighters at this level have this many skills, which makes the champion dangerous at all ranges and hard to train for in a short time.
I'm with the champion. I know Fundora is one amazing fighter, but the champion has a lot of punch, a lot of quality. He's southpaw. He moves very well in the ring. He sends a good combination all the time. He's going like little by little, and that's the point Fundora don't have. So. But I want to see that. If I'm Fundora, I cannot take that fight. So it's not easy for him. So, but let's see. You know how it's boxing. Every day is different. Every time is different. And every moment, every fight have different moment, different timing. But for me, in this way, in this category, this is the best.
Fundora says that Jaron Ennis is the natural opponent since all of the top fighters in the division are now fighting under the same banner. He thinks that both sides should take advantage of the chance since they both have world titles, and the way to an uncontested fight is becoming clearer. He says that fights like this don't happen very often where both champions are healthy, busy, and under the same promotion at the same time.
Just watching the highlights of the fight, because I didn't get to watch the whole fight, but watching the highlights of the fight, I was like, okay, this should be next. This should be mixed. It makes sense to me, especially now with the zone stuff and PBC signing with the zone. It only makes sense now. The Virgil fights, the Boots fights, if Zayas stays at 154, the Zayas fights. All these guys, they make sense. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, it's like, these guys found the same platform. Let's put them together. You know, because I mean, you're gonna see me fight later on this year again. You're gonna see.
To wrap up, Jaron Ennis says that the championship match between him and Sebastian Fundora is the most important because it gives him a chance to unite the division and prove himself against another winner. He thinks that his fans want to see him overcome the biggest problem possible, and that winning is not enough. Anyone who doesn't believe him that he is the best in the world should stop. Because they settle arguments that rankings and opinions can never fully settle. He says that unification fights are more important than regular championship defenses.
We locked in on the belt right now, and I feel like the two guys in the belt is a bigger fight right now. Even Fundora, I feel like Fundora is a bigger fight. Everybody want to see that. I don't feel like nobody. That Virgil T's on, yes, a good fight. I feel like it's like dying down. Nobody really want to see it because I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna knock him out. They're gonna be like, he was telling me. They already seen it now. I'd rather fight the tall guy that y'all think is mine.
He is called a ducker by Crawford. They both say the same thing. Even though accusations are still being made outside of the ring, Boots Ennis is focused on the one fight that could end it all. A unification match with Sebastian Fundora. Does beating Fundora end the running of the story, or will people still be wondering about him no matter what he does? Leave your guesses in the comments, and don't forget to like, follow, and turn on notifications to get more boxing news and analysis.